Hey, Trails Collective, Ian here for the weekly rundown for March 31st, 2020. I'll be here with you this evening. Ellie did some of the legwork and we're going to patch her in visually, just trying to be mindful of the CDC guidelines and distancing in this crazy time. But we're going to try to keep going. I think everybody is trying to navigate and shuffle as best they can, so we are here as well. Our vision initially was to tell you a little bit about what's going on with races that just happened this past weekend, trail work opportunities, trail races to come. But we're having to obviously shuffle how we do that here for the next couple months. But at least let's dig in a little bit to what should have been going in terms of trail races. You can at least mark it on your calendar for next year. Events and possibilities that maybe are coming that you can plug into. Yeah, let's get into it. So races that should have happened this past week, but instead the carnage continued. Canceled events were the Greenbrier Ultras, HARRC's Tuscarora 50K, Patapsco Valley 50K, which is one that I had my eyes on and ran with a couple people early on that were keying in on that event. Naked Prussian 26.2 and 50 mile, great event. For those who haven't checked it out in the past, it's a really good one to do early season in March in Pennsylvania. Tails on Trails 5K and 10K, Singletrack Maniac 50K. This race is for the birds. Sanctuary Gallop 5K, GPS Freeland 15K. Two events that we got some word that maybe went virtual, but I couldn't find it to confirm anywhere. The Dagwood Ultra Marathons and the market at the Grelen 5K and 10K, which I believe is down in Virginia. And going forward, we'll try to plug some of those locations and give you more details as they're happening. Rescheduled events. So for those event directors who are able to spin and push back, Haulin in the Holler 50K, November 14th. Chimney Rock 5 mile, date still to be determined. W&OD Trail 5K, date still to be determined. And the Rosaryville half marathon and 10K trail run, September 6, 2020. We'll have those linked. Check them out. So outside of races, what else is going on, I guess? In FKT news, Eric Kosek hammered out a new FKT on the Old Loggers Path in PA. It's 27 miles, gains about 4,400 feet, and he did it in just under 4 hours and 3:58. He's going to be back at it the day that this is hopefully going to go online, Tuesday, March 31st, going after the Loyalsock Trail in PA. Eric, go get it. We'll give you the post next week on how that went. But even better, maybe even cooler than his FKTs, and I don't know whether any of you are linked with Eric on Facebook, but he released this pretty sweet clip of quarantining done right with his wife and daughters in the camper. So check it out.
So we're living the camper life tonight, like some other people we know in our world. It's a good night for it. Gonna sleep out, hang out, drinking some hot cocoa, eating some popcorn, and the best part is we're playing a board game that the girls made. Girls, why don't you say explain how it's played? Well, obviously, you start at the trailhead, trail entrance.
And then you roll a dice, and you move as many steps as you get. And then there's things on here, and it's
Why don't you read them out?
And then this one's you earned a scout badge, move 1 extra space. This one's you stepped in poop, move back 2.
Oh, nobody likes stepping in poop.
And then there's 3 more, and then there's you earned another scout badge, move 1 extra space. You found a berry bush, move 2 extra spaces.
Blueberries.
And then you got
rattlesnake.
You got bit by a snake, move back 1.
What else?
And then there's, you found an antler shed. Move 3 more spaces.
Nice, which we found an antler shed yesterday.
You fell in the creek. Skip your next turn. You got stung by bees. Move back 2. And then you got a blister, so you got to skip your next turn. And then here...
Yeah, right before the end, ironically, is when you can get a blister and not be able to finish.
And then trail exit. See you soon. Nice job.
Nice job, ladies. Very impressive for a homemade board game.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So what else? What's going on out there? In the running and gear world, shop world, I don't know. It's crazy. Well, I guess on a positive note, I've been wear testing 2 trail models, trail shoe models from a company Raidlight. Maybe not a brand that's on many people's radars just yet, but I've been really happy with the 2 that I've been testing. So stay tuned on that. I think it's a brand that I'm going to open for my own shops, and I'll do some more in-depth reviews coming up, so keep an eye out. I think last week maybe I released another one from Merrill, which is the Agile Synthesis. You can look for that review on our YouTube channel. Pretty sweet shoe, pretty incredible design. It actually came out in 2019, but just getting to reviewing it now. So check it out. We'll do more as we come as part of the Trails Collective, but I think that was just recently posted. I'll have another one coming up on the Ultimate Direction Hydro shorts, which are pretty slick. So stay tuned for that. Let's see, in the news, in the running world, New Balance is starting to make face masks, or at least prototypes of them in their Massachusetts factory. A sign of the day and age right now. It's pretty awesome. New Balance, thanks for spinning on your own and trying to make that happen. And then shops. I'm here filming in the Finger Lakes Running Company in Ithaca. And it's been a pretty crazy world. Shops like mine, shops like Medved, Crozet Running down in Virginia, some of the others that I look for up in Maine, scattered throughout. We're doing what we can to stay viable. I think I mentioned it maybe earlier, but we had a really incredibly supported week ago Sunday. Thanks to all those who really kept us going. Things are really difficult, not just for us, but businesses all over. The amount of individuals, including Ellie here, in terms of those losing their jobs is, I think the projection is it could be more than the Great Depression. So I don't know if any of us really know what's ahead. I'm really hoping that it'll spin back, but it's crazy. So for me here in the shop, we've converted to taking orders online and by phone. I've been running deliveries most days, which I'm so thankful for. The trail community that's turned out to support us from far and away. Jason Mintz coming out of Syracuse, Randy Shemansky coming out of PA. Thanks for the support, guys, and so many others that are keeping us going. And I'm feeling on this end a little bit more like a traditional milk delivery man, where I'm dropping off the milk on people's porches here regularly. I'm getting to see some pretty cool places, having some good conversations with people, but it's for sure crazy times. For all those that are out there doing your part to keep it going, thank you. I've had 2 local business owners in the past couple days here stop in and do their part in supporting the shop, making purchases when I know it's just as tight on their end. So I'm doing what I can to turn it back around and do all I can to keep it flowing. So for all those out there in the same boats, hang in there. For all the shop owners out there also just trying to make it work, whether you're doing the deliveries as well, whether you're trying to come online as fast as you can with e-commerce, hang in there. And for all of you out there who may be interested in gear and gear purchases, no time better than right now to really look for your local run specialty shop. Buy a gift card, see if they'll take an order by phone or email, and really just commit to keeping your money local if you can. It really makes a huge difference now more than ever. So please consider shopping local. We need it, and we're more apt to keep it circulating in your community. So thanks. One other cool note, I think it was a shop in maybe Utica area of New York. So a lot of states are businesses closing that aren't deemed essential. Well, this run specialty shop put in a challenge to that essential listing, and they actually won the challenge. And so pretty awesome to them for setting that precedent in the rationale that exercise and running is really essential to health, wellness, mental, spiritual, physical sense, and also being able to get shoes and appropriate footwear on mandatory workers such as doctors and nurses. And we've had some of those placing orders in the store as well. So that's pretty awesome, but for sure a sign of the times. Let's see, what else is going on out there? What's shaking with the elites? Matt Lipsy? you guys don't know Matt Lipsy, you should. I intentionally have brought him into a part of the Trails Collective because guy's unique, to say the least. An incredible, probably one of the fastest, most skilled, fittest trail runners in the Northeast, for sure. So some of you may know him for winning nearly every trail race he enters, some for his mastery of setting in, his amazing or uncanny ability to juggle balls, and I'll post that clip at some point for that reference, and others for his uncanny knowledge of fine art of toilet paper connoisseuring. So given the COVID reality, where I know that you are packing more of that TP than you care to allude to right now, consider the following next to your next hoarding purchase.
Oh, hey there. You caught me. Taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. When I'm filling out paperwork on the John, I don't like to just use any toilet paper. I like to see what's out there. And right now, what I've got with me is Willow Strong and Plush. There's a lot of different toilet paper brands out there. A lot of different ones that may or may not work for you. I did not go out and get these specifically for the apocalypse. I actually had these before the apocalypse. Believe it or not, I was dumb enough to prioritize food over toilet paper. So no, again, I did not go out and get these before coronavirus struck. I had these. So anyways, let's talk about it. Doing a little review of tickets to the shit show, which is, as you may have guessed, toilet paper. So what made me want to buy these? Well, I'm going up and down the aisle, I take a look, and I need something. I usually like something 3-ply, just a standard TP for me. So of course these are 3-ply. I found them in the 3-ply section. And what sold me though was the 12 double rolls. So what I'm getting here, according to the packaging anyways, is 12 double rolls is 24 regular rolls. So I don't know if you can see that, but I like to be I'm a savvy shopper, so I like to make sure I'm getting my most bang for my buck and getting my money's worth. So let's take one out of the package and see what we got. As you can see here, it's got a nice comforting pattern on it. It's got turtles and flowers, or maybe that's a flower that looks like a turtle. Either way, it's very comforting, it's soothing. It's got a nice pattern to it, makes you feel happy, So then I took one out earlier and I set it on the roll here, and it rolls well either way. Either if you were a bottom over the top, or top over the bottom, however you roll it. It doesn't seem to matter. I don't really have a preference per se. I do like to work it with the so that it comes off the bottom rather than over the top. That's just my preference. I'm not going to hate you if you do it the other way. I know some people, it's kind of like pineapple on pizza. It's a big deal. So, we just don't need to go there. Whatever way you want to do it, I took the liberty of checking it out, and it does roll either way just fine. I was filling out some paperwork before you got here, and I did want to say that it's probably like an 8 out of 10 stars overall. The pattern, the ply, the bargain, and then the wipe. Okay, 2 squares, that's all it took. 2 squares, 2 tickets to the shit show, cleaned up nice. I didn't need to get another 2 tickets out, and you could say that's subjective to your shit and what you ate, but I would like to think that Willow Plush and Strong and Plush Premium is really just the best that I've seen so far for your wallet and your derriere. So thank you for taking the time to talk to something that's both near and rear to us, and that is toilet paper. I hope you'll join me on my next toilet paper review.
Yeah, that's Lipsy at his finest. What else? Maybe somebody else out there in the lead. Ben Nephew, another one along those lines. Some of you may know him also for winning nearly every trail race that he enters. For his mastery, I think probably setting more FKTs than anybody on the FKT boards. Well, he's not only back at it right now with some FKT, but also some trail building in his backyard. But even more awesome than that is he also just published a study in volume 183 of the Journal of Environmental Research titled Traffic-Related Particulate Matter Affects Behavior, Inflammation, and Neural Integrity in a Developmental Rodent Model. That sounds pretty fantastic. So I'm going to link it in the notes for your consideration. No doubt copies are going in a hurry, so check it out. So what else is going on out there? In regional podcasts, YouTube videos, and other media, we're going to segue in. Ellie, you should be sitting right here to give us that rundown.
A couple podcasts that I want to mention this week. The Culture Trail podcast put out a Running Virtually While Self-Supported podcast where the team gets together. They announce the winner of their virtual Strava race last week, and then they also talk about just ways to be socially responsible while also maintaining some sense of normalcy. Basically, their tagline is just stay the fuck away from
Max, can you earmuff it for me?
people. At least 6 feet. Come on. It might be a time where we need to run alone. I know we talked about it last week, but this gang goes into a deep dive, and they call this kind of a hipster episode. You'll have to just see what that means. Running Inside Out posted an interview from a couple months ago with Chrissy Mail. Chrissy came to Rochester to run the Frozen Branch 50K and graced us with her presence and really had a lot of fun here. And she loves coming to Rochester, and so it was really great to just hear about her story. Now I want to read her first book, and she's starting on a second one, so I can't wait for that to come out. I need more books during this quarantine. And then my podcast with Chris, Hamstrings and Heartstrings, we also released episode 6 called It's Like a Mullet.
Yes! That's awesome!
And that's where I discuss the fun parts of the Olympic trials. And it was really great to reminisce about that. And so I hope you guys enjoy that episode, a little bit more lighthearted than the one before. And then at the end, I don't know if who's been listening, but at the end we have been doing food segments. And so I kind of was getting this idea that maybe we should expand that into something more like ultra munchies, or, food from the trail, or basically like when you get home and you're really tired, what do you put in your bowl? And so that was really fun to do also. So those are the podcasts and media for this week, and I'm imagining that more is going to be coming out because a lot of podcasting started as just a side hustle to do when you were bored. At least that's how ours did. And so I'm really hoping that with all the time we have on our hands at home, a lot more media is going to come out, and that's really exciting. So, coronavirus taking over the world, but more podcasts, more media, and it's improving the environment. So there's like small gems here, you guys. And that's going to be the media for this week. Back to you, Ian.
Thank you, Ellie. Anybody out there, if you have any other regional media, podcasts, mentions, FKT attempts, whatever, please send it our way. Let us know. We'll try to include it, particularly outside of our immediate area in maybe PA, New York. I'd really love to hear more from what's going on in the other states, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Jersey, Connecticut, Maryland, Delaware, Rhode Island, Virginia, West Virginia. Let us know what's going on out there, and let us know who we can be tuning into and plugging. So what's happening in the weekend ahead? Well, more carnage, I suppose, but postponed to dates to be determined. The Finally Spring 5K, the Western Maryland Rail Trail Marathon, the Butterfly Trail Run Walk and 10K, the Night Flight Trail Race, the Tyler Arboretum 10K Trail Run, and the Payne and the Greenway Half Marathon. All check them out, but going to be postponed. Actually, Butterfly Trail Run and Walk May 30th, Night Flight Trail Race sometime during the summer, and Tyler Arboretum November 7th. Sorry, I missed those dates on the first reading. Canceled outright, unfortunately. And again, for all those, we've mentioned it before, but be patient with RDs out there. There's a lot that goes into events, and it's not as easy to just spin it, and it's also not as easy to recoup dollars that are already spent. So even though times are tight right now, be understanding with RDs who either have to roll it or end up keeping a portion. It's just kind of the reality. But cancel the Spring Runoff 5K and 10K, the Buck Ridge Run, the Bimblers Bash 10K, Long Creek 60K, Mile Run Trail Challenge, the New Jersey Ultra Festival, Camp Inaba Challenge, the Hungry Mother 50K and 25K, and the Run Amok 50K. Some names there for sure that were on my radar that I wanted to check out and cover, and I was going to be excited to tell you how it went. But we'll just have to follow up with you next year. On the virtual front, the Mill Mountain Mayhem 10K supposedly is going virtual. I wasn't able to find much info on it. They're probably still figuring that out, but you can check it out and we'll have it linked. And then on the virtual front, we're also going to link an article in the New York Times. They often will release running related articles, but the title is The Races Are Virtual, but the Running is Real. And so it's an author that just digs into a little bit on the concept of virtual races that have become more popular over the past 5 years. So you can check it out if you're not blocked by the New York Times paywall, but that's what it's about. And although she's, again, not here with me, we're going to have Ellie doubling down on the virtual theme. And I'm going to sync her in here to tell you about 2 virtual events that are on deck this coming weekend. Ellie, take it away.
First things first, the Trails Rock virtual COVID-19 race that's being held from April 3rd to April 5th has raised over $8,000. That's a lot of money for those 3 running stores, and that's wonderful. If you can at all, please sign up on their website, trailsrock.org, and register for this race. It's $20. You run either 19 miles, 19K, 1.9 miles, whatever you want to do over the 3 days, and you support some great companies. And Rochester Running Company has really been hitting it out of the park lately with their video series called it's a take on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but it's really great. You got to go over and check it out. This also supports MedVed and Fleet Feet Rochester. Trails Rock has been doing some really great stuff, and I'm really sad that I'm not going to be able to probably do most of their races in this coming season, but if I can support them in any way that I can, that's something that's really important to me. Sheila and Eric are doing great things, and so please head over to trailsrock.org and sign up for this virtual race. Another opportunity you have to help some Ithaca companies is my friend Amelia Kaufman and I. Amelia is one of the best trail runners in Ithaca, New York, so I'm really grateful that she humored me to come and join my little my little race. So the Personal Peak Fitness, as we mentioned last week, is putting on the Backyard Quarantine Ultra. So essentially the premise is we're going to start at 9 a.m. and every hour you run 4.167 miles. That can be a route that you made around your neighborhood. My friend Shay is doing it in her backyard. Amelia and I have decided to do it on a treadmill. Yes, 2 runners that love the trails and love the roads. We're doing it on a treadmill. This sort of came to me actually after talking about it with Ian last week, and what I could do to help. In my unemployment, I don't really have the financial means to support every organization that I would like to. I'm doing my best, and if money does come to me, I'm funneling it into the areas that I can. However, what I can do and what Amelia can do right now is we can run. So here's what we're doing. On April 4th, we are going to Finger Lakes Fitness Centers, which is a company that I do work for, and they've supported me and the Ithaca community in a lot of different events. We're going to be running this race on a treadmill starting at 9 a.m. And each lap, we're asking people to donate $4.16, $4.16 per lap that we can run. So each hour, so 9 a.m. we run 4 miles, 10 a.m. 4 miles, 11 a.m. 4 miles, until we can't anymore. That was the genius of what I was thinking, and then Amelia suggested that we make a pay what you can option, or just a one-time donation, or say you can only donate 50 cents a lap. That still matters, and it still helps us out. And so what our ultra is going to help is the Finger Lakes Running Company, Finger Lakes Fitness Centers, both which are shut down right now due to the New York regulations, and CTB, which I manage one of the branches that has been shut down, but all the other branches have been extremely impacted by the spread of this pandemic. So what you can do is head over to the Trails Collective Facebook page, and under the events tab, click on the Ithaca's Quarantine Treadmill Ultra, and there's a Google Doc, and you can sign up to pledge however much money you want. If you don't have any money to pledge, that's really okay. We understand. We really do understand. And so a kind word or a suggestion of maybe something that we're not thinking about. We've never done anything like this. So maybe something, a piece of gear you like. We love to eat, so any food that you think we might want. and just anything you can think of that would just, help us out, give us a little bit of encouragement and motivation, because, we do love these companies and we would do anything for them. But, sharing running with other people is something that's really important to us. So please reach out if you can. So that's going to be happening on April 4th. And you can donate now, after the fact, whatever you want to do, and any little bit of support helps. So please consider doing that. And now I will throw it back to Ian, and have a good day, you guys.
So hopefully we'll be back to you this time next week, letting you know that Ellie and Amelia went the distance in their backyard quarantine event. That the Trails Rock Save Our Shops virtual 19-miler continued to raise a great amount of money for wonderful shops in their community. And just to let you a little bit else, hopefully we can let you a little bit, we can let you in on a little bit more of what's going to be coming next weekend. So again, for sure, let us know what's happening in your community. FKTs, big runs, benefits, your favorite trail places. Send us video clips of maybe just a few of your thoughts on how things are for you in the moment, how you're looking at this season. Share it with us and we can post it. And let's keep going through this together. So thanks for tuning in this week to the Trails Collective Weekly Rundown. We're really hoping to release the Trails Collective website and go live with it in the next week or two. We're a little bit delayed where we're trying to spin last minute to bring on e-commerce given the state of things. But www.trailscollective.com, check it out. Please share it, sign up for updates, and we're going to be going live pretty soon. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll talk to you this time next week.